Anyway, so back to Bruce Willis. Here's my theory about actors of that particular caliber and doing movies like this. I think Bruce Willis accidentally killed a hooker. And he did that. He called in a favor to some studio, and the studio's like, it's cool, Bruce. We'll take care of the dead hooker. We'll clean it all up, but you're going to have to do our shitty movies. That's my theory about how Bruce Willis and actors, because, he's not the only one that's made movies like this, I'm assuming. But
see, I don't know.
I'm not saying he really killed a hooker, Tom. You don't need to be disappointed to think that Bruce Willis killed a hooker. I'm sure he didn't. That's just a theory.
I honestly get the feeling that the people behind this movie could not cover up the murder of a hooker. I really don't.
Based on the quality of the movie?
Probably based on the quality of the movie. Like, if I killed a hooker and these guys came to me and said, like, we'll take care of it, I'd be like,
yeah,
no, let me call Warner Brothers.
Right. Well, they would most likely outsource it, but if it's going to be if you're talking about a sack of potatoes and it's all a bad sack of potatoes, then they probably wouldn't do a good job of choosing that either. So,
because I really feel like there's if you've got Bruce Willis stinking and being horrible on the screen, then and Thomas Jane is also terrible. The fault is behind the camera,
right?
Because I saw recently, you hear this panned all the time, the Tracy Morgan Bruce Willis movie that Kevin Smith directed. Have you seen this?
You just threw three names who should not be in that.
Yeah,
like all in the same sentence. Really, right. I've never
seen
whatever you're saying. Right? I have not seen it, and okay.
There's a Tracy Morgan Bruce Willis movie. Not as surprising as a Chris Rock Anthony Hopkins movie, but close.
That happened. I know about that.
That happened. Yes. And so, like, it's a grand legendary thing, because I guess Bruce Willis was a total asshole to Kevin Smith the whole time during filming. And, I'd heard stories about this movie and I'd heard how terrible he was during it. But then I watched the movie and it was not that bad.
Yeah.
I would dare say that, unlike many bad movies, I almost enjoyed it. And Bruce Willis was okay in it. But I got to think that the reason that he was okay, even though he's a miserable prick, is that Kevin Smith knows what he's doing. And so he's got a miserable prick on his hands. He can still make a decent movie that people will enjoy watching for an hour and a half. And Tracy Morgan, of course, was fantastic. Really funny. But, so the fault is behind the camera. Must be.
By the way, the drink, the cinnamon is I'm acquiring a taste for it, I think.
Really?
Well, as you get more and more drunk, your mouth doesn't care what. Well, yeah, I should stop that sentence right there. But you start like, okay, cool. I'm okay with this. I'm drinking. I'm having a good time.
One of my goals with this show, though, is to somehow instill in you a desire and respect for sweet drinks.
Yeah,
that is my hope. I hope at some point, by the time we wrap on this fantastic experiment, that you are like, yeah, you know what? I will have a grasshopper. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, I did make my own. I think I need to share the recipe with you, but I did make my own old fashioned. I made my own.
Well, that's not a dessert
and
drink, though.
What's that?
That's not a sweet drink.
I think so. It's got simple syrup in it usually.
Does it?
Sweet to me. Yeah, man.
Wait, what's in an old fashioned again?
Old fashioned is usually bourbon, simple syrup, and bitters. Main three ingredients usually. But I mix it up, and instead of doing simple syrup, I did drambuie and amaretto liqueur. It's delicious.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, if you're doing drambuie and amaretto. But like if you're calling an old fashioned a sweet drink, I have miles and miles to